Well, hello, folks. Again, I'm back. I just kind of bored. I'm just like, I kind of want to do what my favorite is. My favorite is. I know that's not a word, but my favorite is SpiderMan covers. My top 10 favorite Spider-Man covers in my collection current. I just thought, this would make a good idea. And I'm kind of bored. I did all my weekend stuff that I need to do when I get the friend stuff. And as you can tell, I'm rocking this weird 18th century Wolverine thing here going on now, so that's going to be a new look I'm trying out. But anyway, so again, this is going to be the top 10, my top 10 favorite Spider-Man covers in my collection. Again, it'll probably change as I accumulate more, but anyway, so let's get started. So the obvious one, 121, probably the only book, this and maybe Giant Size would be the only ones I would ever have slabbed, that's it. I don't really care about slabbing, but these are the two, and that's mainly because this is like this for me was my golden grail. But I mean, just the cover itself, it's just such an iconic cover because of the story inside. But it's not just that, but it's kind of gimmicky too, in my opinion. It's just like, one of them's gonna die, but you don't know which one, and it's kind of like this old gimmick that comic books use. It's not just that too, but it's just a yellow cover. It's really rare that I find a yellow cover that I like, but just, Spider-Man, like, you just see it here, look at Spider-Man, he's trying to save someone, but he doesn't know who. And the cover's kind of giving this mystery of who's gonna die. Someone close to him, but you don't know. And it's just such an iconic cover now, and the story inside kind of makes it a lot more iconic. And again, there's no particular order to my favorites in my comic book collection, in my Spider-Man collection. There's no favorites, but you know what I mean. There's no numbering, just top 10. But yeah, so this one's a clear one for an obvious reason. Again, the only book I love to get slabbed, Amazing Spider-Man 121. Okay. Next one, Amazing Spider-Man. Oh man, I gotta split this up. Yeah, they're just sharing two things, but Amazing Spider-Man, what is it, 410? Right here, Spider Carnage. The first thing of Spider Carnage. This is not Peter Parker, this is Ben Reilly. And I just love it because, Spider-Man looks almost demonic in this thing. He's bonded to Venom, but this is like maybe the only other time that you ever saw Spider-Man bond to another symbiote. Mm-hmm. And this was Ben Reilly. It's just look at that. It's just the artwork is so fantastic. He really captured the essence of how evil Carnage is, but he maintains Spider-Man there. And it's just, the cover just looks so badass. Just look at it. You see the veins popping out. Like I said, it's almost like demonic. This could almost be like some sort of other universe story of a Spider-Man possessed by a demon. It just looks so badass. So there's that one. And then, Amazing Spider-Man 98. This is the one without the Comics Code Authority cover. The drug issue. But the reason I like it is because of the battle scene that's taking place in here. Just look at that battle. If you're a kid, you walk into and you see this, you kind of want to buy it, don't you? I know if I was a kid, I would want to buy it. You could just see almost like this desperation here, like Spider-Man is over here clinging for his life, and at the same time, he's over here having to find the Green Goblin, who's probably like the biggest nemesis that Spider-Man's ever had. Before it used to be Dr. Octopus, but now it's, Norman Osborn. And this is like Norman Osborn, pure Norman Osborn, fighting his nemesis on the cover. It's almost you can feel the emotion of Spider-Man when you look at this cover. Just the anxiety, shit, I gotta keep my grip, but at the same time this guy's trying to kill me, and you could just feel that emotion coming off the cover, So it's one of the reasons why I like it so much. It's just such, and it just kind of represents Spider-Man and stuff. It's someone, just a kind of almost a regular guy, but struggling to do things, trying his best, but at the same token, it's not pretty, but he's gonna prevail. It's just a classic cover. That's number 3. There we go, Web of Spider-Man 118, and for me, this is for obvious reasons, because this is the first appearance of the Scarlet Spider costume. As we all know, Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider is my most favoriteest version of Spider-Man ever. That's more my first cosplay. I still have a cosplay. I'm working on improving it. and I'm probably want to do the Ben Reilly version of Spider-Man soon, but that's not going to happen until Lee's convention starts opening up again. But yeah, I mean, it's such a good cover because it just marks like a new beginning. Here's this new, fresh character that essentially was buried, dead and buried, and here he is. He's coming in. He's not just taking over. Not just taking over like the Spider-Man comic, but it's kind of like for the character, he's almost trying to reclaim some portion of his life again, and just he's coming. He's just a new way to present a character. Like, this guy is fresh. You got to read this, and he's just coming right at you as a reader, just presenting it. And again, the story just behind this and the story of the character is just fantastic. Like I said, this story legitimizes the character because up to this point. Peter Parker had never beaten Venom. Never, ever, ever. He had never beaten Venom. And Ben Reilly did something that Peter Parker never could do, beat Venom. And beat Venom without resorting to, I need help, or without resorting to a sonic gun. He outwitted him, and he legitimately beat him, in a fight. That's something Peter Parker can do, and then legitimize the character. And this cover is a way to bring this character to life, I just really do. Of course, you gotta have Secret Wars #8, kind of like the origin of the costume. This is again another iconic costume because up to this point, like, Spider-Man really didn't have much alteration with his costume. You know what I'm saying? Like, there really wasn't much different from Spider-Man up to this point. Like, it was more classic black, red, blue. Sometimes the eyes would be a little smaller, sometimes the eyes would be wider, sometimes he would have webbing in his armpits, sometimes he wouldn't. But this was really the first time that he really had another costume. And that this version kind of stuck around for quite a bit. And even to this day, it still sticks around. Like, he'll still occasionally wear it. You know what I mean? And this is the kind of thing that started it all, just presenting this new look. And then just the text here, it just shows you, hey, look at this huge thing going on, but this costume's a big deal. Even the text is telling you the costume is, this costume's a big deal. Look what's going on behind him, and look at this. And it was almost like it marked a kind of a different feel for the character, like a new beginning for the character, like new costume, new beginning. Kind of like this cover too, new beginning. This is kind of like what kind of marked a new beginning. It just looks nice, Then the next one, Amazing Spider-Man 250. Pretty much it's one of the battles with the Hobgoblin. Because up to this point, like, no one knew who the Hobgoblin was, and like, this is Spider-Man fighting him, and it's just such a nice cover. I mean, they're fighting in a fire essentially, and you can just look at the desperation. You look at the emotion of the Hobgoblin here. It's like he's obsessed with trying to kill him, and Spider-Man's just trying to stay alive. You know what I mean? It's just such a nice cover. The colors, the fire in the background. You know what I mean? The characters just pop, and it's like the inking, the coloring, everything just popped on this cover. You know what I mean? It just works. And I just like it, It's just really good. It just shows this intense battle raging, literally in a raging fire. So that's 250. Amazing Spider-Man 362. Like, this is probably, it's like the first time we saw Venom and Carnage on the cover. Like, before it was just this guy, Venom, just specific. Then suddenly he had Carnage, and now, we just look at Spider, like, holy crap. Now he's going to have to deal with two symbiotes. That's not the way it worked in the story. Venom realized, oh crap, I need to stop my offspring. But the cover, it just shows, like, this desperate situation of Spider-Man, where it's like, oh no, I have to fight two symbiotes. And it's a good way of presenting, like, just a pair of the Spider-Mans in, and then just introducing this character here right next to Venom. Like, he's kind of getting like that old school wrestling rub from being with this guy, Venom. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's just like the yellow background and like the pen, like the little black mark that's kind of presenting the character to you in a vacuum. It just works. That's 362. Amazing Spider-Man 346. Fantastic cover, like, just look how fantastic that is. I mean, you know what I mean? You got Spider-Man, you got Venom, but in his eyes is Spider-Man. And as you read the story, it's pretty much Venom trying to kill Spider-Man on a deserted island, essentially. And it's just such a good cover, because you have his face here. Venom is almost taking over the cover, And then you see Spider-Man here, and if you, up to this point, Spider-Man was scared shitless of Venom. Like, he was scared of him. And you could just see, like, the peril of Spider-Man and just, like, the absolute fear and just the absolute obsession and, like, rage that Venom has to Spider-Man. And just, oh my god, just look at everything. Like, the tongue, the cover, the teeth, and everything just pops, you know? So, and again, and it's just such rare to have, especially not just that, but this is kind of one of those rare black covers that actually may still hold. Because, like, it's really rare to find black covers that are in good shape or aren't faded. Okay, then there's some crappy fancy editing. Because my computer wants to be a piece of shit and freeze. So anyway, Spider-Man number 0. This is going to be the... Pretty much, this is not Peter Parker, this is Ben Riley. This is when he finds out he's a clone. He realizes it. Now, I like it because you could just feel the weight of the world on Ben Riley's shoulders, like just the devastation of finding out that everything he knew was a lie. You know, he's just sitting in a rain, just soaking, because it's like, what does it matter anymore? Like, he's not real, he shouldn't even be alive. And this cover just captures that and that emotion of the story. You know, it's just really well done. Then Amazing Spider-Man number 90. Again, $36, probably paid like $13, I didn't pay that much. But anyway, Amazing Spider-Man, Death of Captain Stacy. And the reason I like this is because this is just like almost a prototype Spider-Man, which the character represents. Just someone who's trying so immensely hard to do the right thing. So immensely hard to do the right thing, right? But at the same token, everybody's out to get him. The media, people don't trust him. And even though he tries his best, sometimes he fell. And you just could feel that weight of the world on his shoulders. Just that tremendous pressure that he had being Spider-Man. And they had being Peter Parker, and you could just feel like just craving in on him, you know, and it just illustrates it so well. And that is my top favorite 10. Thanks for watching, everyone.